Hi there, Longfellow teachers and staff. My name is Jill Makaitis. I am the mother of first grader William Makaitis. And here's a kind of mixed level to beginners yoga class that I videotaped to show my appreciation for you and everything you do. So if you've never done yoga before, buckle up. It's going to be fun. We're just going to get started in a seated position. So you can make your way onto your mat. And facing the top of the mat, we'll just cross the legs pretzel style, placing your hands onto your lap. Go ahead and close your eyes. And whether you're doing this before school or after school, take a couple deep breaths and let everything that's happened so far in your day just fade into the background. See if you can really channel your breathing through your nose. So the inhales are through the nose and the exhales are through the nose. And just doing something that simple, taking the breath through the nose, is going to make you feel a lot more calm. And now try to stretch out the length of your breath. So maybe you count inhale for 3 and exhale for 3. If you've been practicing yoga for a little bit longer, you can bump that count up to 4 or 5 for the inhale and the exhale. But we're basically just trying to even out the breath, try to stretch it out a little bit. And just taking a moment here before we get moving to notice how the focus on your breath brings your mind to a more peaceful state. And try to keep some of that ease and that gentleness about you, even as we move through maybe some of the more challenging poses today. Let's bring the hands to the heart. You could close your eyes here. Set an intention for your practice. And if you're using the music I sent along with this class, you could start my playlist right away. We're going to come into tabletop pose on the hands and the knees. So bring it on back. Hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And with your next breath in, just drop your belly towards the floor. See if you could lift your tailbone and the crown of your head straight up towards the sky. Then as you exhale, press into your palms, round your back, let your head and your neck drop down between your shoulders. Take a breath in, chest curls up into a back bend. This is our cow pose. And exhale deeply, push through your palms, let your head hang, gaze towards the thighs. Couple more times like this. You could close your eyes, take an inhale, feel that opening in your chest. And pushing through your palms, let's round the back all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Inhale, cow pose. Swivel your chest through the gateway of your shoulders. And exhale, cat pose. Feel the vertebrae of your spine really stretch out. One more time. Let's come into cow pose, the back bend. Breathe in. And rounding to cat pose as you exhale. We'll drop the head, soften the neck. Good. Just make your way up to a flat back here as you inhale. And we're going to start by just walking your knees a couple of steps back. So you're in a bit of a longer tabletop. Try to pull your tailbone in rather than having it sticking out. And if you've done yoga before and you think you can manage that plank pose, pull the toes under, lift the knees up. We'll take one deep breath in. As you exhale from your plank or from your knees, let's lower, come slowly on down to your bellies here. And just point your toes, climb up onto your forearms. So making our way into Sphinx Pose, which is a gentle back bend. We'll push through the elbows, lift up through the crown of your head, and inhale here. As you exhale, gently take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Let the left side of your neck stretch and open. Inhale, crown of the head lifts up. We'll just let that left ear fall to the left shoulder, opening up the right side of your neck. Good. Gaze forward here and lower your chest all the way down to the mat. Let's make our way into Child's Pose. You could bring your big toes together, stretch your knees wide, and try to take your hips back towards your heels. They may or may not come back super far. If you're able to, rest your forehead onto the floor. If your shoulders are kind of tight, they might not like that very much, and then you could just like make a little pile with your hands and rest your forehead there. But either way, grounding your forehead, putting some nice pressure on that third eye point. And in Child's Pose, we're just going to take a moment to recognize this is a place you can always return to. So when you need to rest, this is your Child's Pose. But for now, let's make our way slowly back up into tabletop position. And from here, we're going to swivel the legs all the way forward. Straight out in front of you, could scoot your hips up a little bit. Let's lay it on down onto our backs, and we'll just pull the knees in towards the belly here. Feel the small part of your back really round into the floor. And then as you inhale, we're just going to take the legs up. You could lower your arms down by your sides. Exhale, lower your right leg any amount. Maybe it hovers about 6 inches away from the floor. And then we'll pick that right leg back up again. Take your inhale. Exhale, the left leg drops down, maybe just a quarter of the way, maybe 3/4 of the way. And inhale, lift your left leg back up. We're going to do this 4 more times. If you want to add a little extra heat, you could take your hands behind your head and lift your chest and your shoulders. That's the right side. Exhale, left leg lowers. Inhale, left leg lifts. 2 more. Right leg, exhale. Pick it up, inhale. And the left leg, exhale. Good, we'll pick it up. Inhale. Okay, good. Just lower your head to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a moment. Let's rock it up to a seated position. And from your seat, we'll swivel the legs back. So tabletop pose once again on all fours. This time, pull your toes under, lift your knees up, and stretch your hips back. We'll find downward facing dog. And if you've never done this before, it might not feel super great. But the goal is essentially to make your body the shape of a triangle, your hips being the point of that triangle. See if you could spread your fingers nice and wide, make your arms really strong. And take it real slow. We're going to walk the hands all the way to the feet, meeting together at the back of your space for a standing forward fold. Soften your knees, grab a hold of your opposite elbows. Just let the head hang here if it feels good. You could sway from side to side a couple of times. And if the hamstrings, the backs of the legs are tight, just an extra bend in the knees should do the trick. But for this last breath, you can go ahead and drop your fingertips down to the floor, and we'll pick it up halfway. Take your hands to your shins. See if you get a little more length in your spine. And keeping that length, we'll fold all the way forward and down once again. Bend your knees. Take a nice slow roll up to a standing position, and when you arrive, we'll take the arms overhead. Grab a hold of your left wrist and stretch to the right. We're going to push down through that left foot as we bend. Inhale, back up through center. Take a hold of your right wrist. Bend over to the left. We'll come back up through center, lift up through your fingertips, up through your chest, and bring your hands to your heart when you're ready. Doing good, guys. So we're at the back of the mat, and we're just going to take a little bit of a funky walk forward to play with our balance. So please step your left foot in a touch, and then bending your right knee towards your chest. We'll pause on the left foot, straighten the right leg, and lightly just step your right foot forward. Now see if you could lift your left knee, just straighten and up towards your belly. We'll inhale. Straighten your left leg and lightly step forward. We're going to take it all the way up to the top of the mat like this. Right knee towards the belly. Straighten and step. You might be running out of space. Once you get to the top of the mat, just lifting that knee up one more time. And setting it down. Your feet are together up at the top. As you inhale here, stretch your arms overhead and just pause for a moment, you guys. Push into your feet. Lift up through your fingertips. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, gently fold forward. You could bend your knees if things are still feeling sticky. Hands to your shins. Lift up halfway in, inhale. Now hands to the ground, and please step your left foot back. Come into the square of your right knee. Hands frame that right foot. We'll pause here for a moment. You could come onto your fingertips. See if you could bend that right knee a little bit deeper. Feel free to bring both hands inside of the right foot if you're running out of space. Let's take another big inhale, feeling this opening in the front of your left thigh. And then with your exhale, just lean a little bit more into your left hand. Stretch your right fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Making your right fingers into a fist, roll your right wrist around. Just go a few times one way and a few times the other way. And we'll open the fingers nice and wide just for one deep breath in. Right hand to the floor, inside or outside the right foot. Gently push your right leg towards straight, and take note, it does not have to be perfectly straight. You could keep any amount of a bend in that right knee if the hamstrings are sticky. But wherever you are, let's try to rest your head and your neck down over your right leg. So you should be feeling the back of your right leg. We're going to take one more deep breath and try to channel your breath there. Okay, we'll bend the right knee and just step your left foot all the way up to meet your right foot. You could take as few or as many steps as you like. Bring your hands to your shins. Get some length in your spine. And then the hands to the ground. Please step your right foot back. Take a bend in your left knee. Lift up through your chest. And remember, if you're running out of space there, you can move your left hand inside of your left foot. Pause for a moment. Feel where your hips are at. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, we'll lean into the right hand. Stretch your left arm up high. Make a fist with your left hand and just roll through your wrist. Go a few times one way and a few times around the other way. Good. Now spread your fingers. Breathe it in. Touch your left hand to the floor as you exhale. It could be inside or outside your left foot. Gently straighten your left leg and bow your head down. We'll take 3, 2, and 1. Just bending that left knee. We'll step all the way forward. Feet come together. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold. With your weight in your heels, you'll just bend both your knees here for chair pose. Inhale, arms overhead. And as you exhale, we'll just fold it all the way forward. Let's do that twice more with the breath. Bending your knees, lift your arms up and inhale. Exhale, fold it on forward. And just one more time, chair pose. Take your arms up, deep breath in. Hands to your heart this time, and we'll straighten the legs. Good. We're going to set up for tree pose here, and you guys should still face the top of your mat. I'm just going to turn to face you so that nobody gets confused. But we'll start with the hands in prayer, and with the right heel kind of kickstanded up your left inner leg. Now you can stay here, especially if balance is tricky for you, or you can just slide that right foot up a little higher. You could use your right hand to nail it in there. And then we'll move the hands to the heart. We'll feel your left foot really rooted and grounded. And then maybe take your arms overhead if your balance is feeling good here. We could do some double wrist rolls, both hands and fists. Roll around one way and roll it around the other way. Okay, good. Spread out those fingers. And we'll lower the arms and just lower the right foot down next to the left foot. You did it, guys. Bring your hands to your heart. Kickstand your left heel up your inner right shin and stay with that, or slide it up, or use your left hand to help it up. Push your foot and your thigh into each other. Hands at the heart for centering. And then if you feel centered, you could lift those arms up. If you're not so sure, keep the hands in prayer. If the arms are up and you're still with me, you can make your hands into fists. Do some wrist rolls one way. All that grating, wrist rolls the other way. And spread those fingers out. Take a deep breath in. We'll lower the arms and lower the leg. Well done. We're going to step from the top of the mat. So you're facing the short end of your mat. And you're going to kind of swing your right foot back and turn to face the side edge of your mat. So we're in a wide-legged stance. And we're going to open the arms. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, interlace your fingers back behind you. And again, we'll inhale, pull your chest open. Try to stretch your arms towards straight. And if your shoulders are tight, this is not going to work very well. You could use a strap or a sock or a sweatshirt between your hands for a little more slack. Either way, we're going to fold forward here. And you can let your head and neck be heavy. Try to get some momentum from your knuckles reaching up and over to bring your torso and your head a little bit further through your legs. Take 3, 2, and 1. Let's meet with the thumbs touching under the chest. Push your arms straight and keeping your right palm grounded. Stretch your left fingertips up towards the sky. Lean your left knuckles back, open your chest, take a big breath in. And switching as you exhale, the left hand to the floor. Now push through your left palm, stretching your right fingertips straight on up. Get a nice twist in your upper spine. And we'll touch the right hand to the floor. And just fold forward as you exhale. Good. Take 3 deep breaths here. This time you can use your hands on the ground to guide your head back a little further, down a little further. The next time you inhale, just lift to your fingertips, open your chest, try to keep your legs strong, your back strong, hands to your hips, and we'll rise all the way up. Good. Let's step it back to the top of your space. And inhale, lift, arms overhead. Exhale, fold it on forward. Inhale, pick it up halfway. We're going to place the hands, step that left foot all the way back. So right foot is forward. Open up your left toes. Move your right forearm onto your right thigh. That right knee is bent. And we'll stretch the left arm up and across the left ear. So this is called side angle pose. And you should really feel just a nice opening through this entire left side of your body. Let's take 3 more breaths here. If your hips are on the open side and you want to move your right hand to the floor on the outside of your right foot, go for it. 2 and 1. Place your hands to the ground and pause. Lift your left heel. We've done this before. Left hand stays heavy. Stretch your right arm up high. Take a deep breath in. And the right hand comes down. Let's step it on forward. Feet together. Lift, lengthen. Exhale, the right foot steps back. Now your left foot is forward. We're going to open up those right toes, hike the left forearm onto the left thigh, and just stretch your right arm up and across your right ear for side angle pose. We'll take 4 more breaths here, and if any time along the way you feel like you want to try moving your hand outside of your foot, go for it. Last 2. See if you could spin your chest up a little higher. And 1, the right hand to the floor. We're going to lift the right heel and stretch your left arm up towards the sky. Just take a big deep breath in here. Left hand to the floor. We're stepping forward as you exhale. Feet come together. Halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. With straight legs, we'll rise. Take your arms overhead and a big breath in. Hands to your heart as you exhale. All right, we're stepping it up a notch. Let's lift the arms over the head as you inhale. Exhale, folding all the way forward. Bring it up halfway for your breath in. And placing your hands, let's step back onto the knees. Tabletop pose becomes a modified plank. So that's hands and knees with your knees back a little further, or a high plank where your knees are lifted. Now take a breath in with me. As you exhale, bend your elbows straight on back, lower all the way down onto your belly. From here, we'll point the toes, push through your palms, and lift into Cobra Pose. So Cobra Pose should be mostly in your upper back. That's where you should get the most sensation. If you're feeling a lot in your lower back, you might want to bend your elbows a touch more. Let's take a deep breath in. Maybe lift your chin slightly off of your chest. And then exhale, lower, chest to the floor. Push it on up, back into tabletop. Hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Let's go ahead and walk your knees a little bit closer together now. We'll kick the left leg up behind us, left thigh parallel to the mat. And then we're going to make our way onto our right fingertips. So just playing with our balance here. And if we feel confident, we'll stretch the right fingertips all the way forward for 3. Try to keep the back of your neck nice and long. Take 2. And 1. Place your hand, place your knee. Very good. The right leg kicks back as you inhale. And then we'll get a little lighter on the left fingertips. Just see what happens. Maybe the left arm extends forward. And you'll want to feel like someone's pulling on your left wrist, pulling on your right heel. Get a big stretch from end to end. And then just place your hand and place your knee. Let's swivel those legs around once again. Scoot your hips forward. Make your way down onto your backs and hug your knees into your chest. Good, so we've done this before. Arms by the sides, legs to the sky. Take an inhale here. Legs should be a little more open. As you exhale, lower your right leg, maybe 1/4 of the way, maybe 3/4 of the way. And we'll inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, left leg to lower. Inhale, pick it back up. Here's your option to take hands behind the head. We'll do 4 more. Exhale, lower the right leg. Option to twist this time. Bring your right elbow towards your left knee. And right leg lifts up. We'll take that left leg down, twisting towards the right knee. Just 1 more on each side. You guys can do it. Right leg lowers, twisting left. Inhale up. Left leg lowers, twisting right. Inhale up. And we'll hug the knees into the chest. Very good. That is the easiest thing that you guys should have to do today. You could keep your knees hugging into your chest, or now try grabbing the outside edges of your feet. So it's called Happy Baby Pose, which is funny because babies do actually do this. We'll not say goo goo and gaga though. That would be weird, although it's always tempting. Okay, enough of that. Let's hug the knees into the chest. And again, we're going to rock it all the way up into a seated position where we'll stay for a moment. Lift your arms overhead as you inhale. And let's bring it into a twist here. So the left hand to the right knee and the right fingertips to the floor behind you. Just take a nice deep breath in. Feel the crown of your head lengthen all the way up. And keeping your left hand on your right knee, we're going to exhale, reach your right arm up and over your head. Imagine as if you were going to touch the floor with your right fingertips by your left knee. Should feel this in that lower left pocket of your back. It should feel intense, but good. Now please move your left hand onto your right knee and just square your shoulders off. So ears are over the shoulders. We're taking a breath in. We've got our opposite hands on our opposite knees. Okay, good, you guys. As you exhale, you can move those hands behind your back and just switch the way that your legs were crossed. Arms overhead as you inhale. And we'll twist to the left as you exhale. Your right hand is on your left knee and your left hand is on the floor behind you. Just take a deep breath in, spine gets long. Exhale, left hand stays. Right arm's going to reach up and over. Imagine as if you were going to touch the floor by your left knee, although you probably won't because that's hard. We'll cross the right arm over the left arm now. So opposite hands on opposite knees. Let's push down into the hands with the knees. Try to pull the arms real straight. Very nice. Let it go. Swivel your legs back and tabletop becomes downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips high. Notice if it feels any better this second time around. And we'll try to give a little pedal in the knees. So bend your right knee. See if you could draw your left heel back and down a little further. And bending your left knee, try to stretch back with your right heel. Okay, good. We'll try to straighten both legs here and just take a slow walk with your hands all the way back towards your toes, hanging out here in the forward bend. Maybe that sway from one side to the other, releasing the low back. We are almost there. Touch your fingertips down to the floor. Halfway up as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. Arms overhead, reach up, breathe in. And your hands to your heart as you exhale. So remember when we did that kind of cuckoo walk to the front of the mat? We're going to do that again. It's going to be even more silly this time. So feet will come together, hands at the heart. And we're going to lift the right leg up, kick your right heel back, try to swing your right leg around, and then step your right heel in front of your left toe. So imagine you're walking on a balance beam. Left heel kicks back, rolls around. Ranges of motion will vary from person to person. Wherever you take it, the left heel lands in front of the right. That's your cue to take that right heel back and all the way around. So it's all about focus. Try when you're standing on one foot not to lean too far to that side. And we should be getting pretty close to the top of the mat. But as you all know best, everyone's different. So if you're not quite there yet, you could just make your way there. And once you find your way up to the top of the mat, you could just keep your hands in prayer for a moment. Step your left foot in slightly and bend your right knee up towards your belly. This time we'll try a little twist. The left hand comes to the outside of the right knee and the right arm reaches back. Now this can go a lot of places. Feel free to stay here or catch the outside of your right foot with your left hand, straighten your right leg, and maybe even gaze back at your right thumb. And we'll rebend the knee and just set that right foot down and just check in for a moment and make sure that we're not taking ourselves too seriously. This is supposed to be fun. Hands to your heart. Pull your left knee towards your low belly. And this first step is you could just stay right here. You could add that twist, right hand to the left thigh, left arm behind you. If you're pretty flexible and you do yoga on the semi-regular, right hand to the outside of the left foot, kick your left leg straight, reach your left arm back, take another deep breath in. And bending the left knee, we'll just lower that left foot down to the ground. Move your hands onto your waist here. We're going to lower onto the knee. So we'll find upright and kneeling. And for some people, this can be kind of icky on the knees. Feel free to fold the front part of your mat over a little bit to provide a little cushion for yourself. And then have all 10 toes tucked under. Just like mine, those heels are lifted. Bring your hands to your waist. Your thumbs should be pointed in around your spine, and your fingers should just be wrapping around. Push your hips forward, squeeze your elbows back, and if it feels okay, let's free up that neck. See if you can let your head drop back. So noticing this really big opening in your chest and your throat, even right here with the hands on the back. If you'd like to come deeper, hands to the heels for Camel Pose, or wherever you are, just kind of meet yourself where you're at. Take 3, 2, very important, you guys. Head is the last thing up. Use your belly muscles. Come on up. Nice and slow. That does it, you guys. We'll swivel the legs forward and do a few little closing poses before I send you off to your days. So we'll straighten the legs out in front of you here. This is called Dandasana, staff pose. You could bring your hands down by your hips, close your eyes, and we're just sitting up nice and tall. Noticing the breath as it enters and exits through the nose. Trying to tune into a louder breath at this point, the Ujjayi breath. It sounds like white noise. Let's take one more breath here. Just observe where you're at. And slowly blink your eyes open. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide to the sides. Moving your hands onto your shins. Sit it up nice and tall, crown of the head to the sky, and you could even push your shins down into your hands for some resistance. Good. As you exhale, we're going to fold forward, round your back, drop your head. You might just be right here. You might be able to walk your arms out in front of you or even rest on your elbows. We'll take 5 deep breaths here. And I want you to think about each exhale, just releasing a little more tension from your hips, from your knees, from your neck. Oh, we'll roll it up slowly. Please place your feet to the floor under your knees, your hands to the floor behind your back. Take a deep breath in. Try to curl your shoulders back. Maybe let your head drop. You could stay here with your hips on the ground or lift your hips up for a reverse tabletop. We'll take 3, 2, and 1. Let's lower the hips to the ground again, and we'll fold the right foot back, extending the left leg straight out in front of you. So that right knee is bent out to the right. It's like tree pose sitting down. Stretch your arms overhead as you inhale. And as you exhale, fold. And if you have a towel or a strap nearby that you could wrap around your left foot just to give you that feel of holding it, that would be great. If not, holding anywhere on your left leg is fine. The real focus anyways is on that right hip. Try to let your right knee release to the floor and stretch out here from the lower right side of your back. We'll make our way up nice and slow. Stretch your right foot straight forward. Bend your left knee back and wide. As you inhale, take your arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward, just reaching out over that right leg. Keep your left knee heavy and use your breath as a tool. Just to drop in deeper and deeper every time you exhale. Slowly make your way up and straighten out your left leg. We're going to scoot the hips forward and come all the way down onto your backs. When you get on your back, lift your knees up over your hips. Take your arms open at shoulder height, and we'll let the knees drop all the way over to the right. Close your eyes here. Take a few deep breaths. Just try to keep your neck real straight. We'll use the belly muscles to lift the knees back up over the hips, and then you can drop them all the way over to the left. Heavy in that right shoulder. Let's take those knees back up and just wrap your arms around your shins and thank yourselves for all you do. Whenever you're ready, send your legs straight out onto the floor in front of you. Let your arms open up at the sides a little bit and just close your eyes. We're going to rest together for just a couple minutes. So as you rest here in Shavasana, try to keep your mind really clear. If some of those intrusive thoughts or to-dos start to make their way through, you can notice them, acknowledge them, and send them off. Got plenty of time to think about that. But this part of the practice is all just about resting and receiving all the wonderful benefits of your yoga. So we'll take this next couple minutes to do just that. We'll start to slowly bring our awareness back to our breath. Bringing some movement back into your fingers and into your toes. And just hug your knees in towards your chest and make your way onto your right hand side. And we'll stay here for just a moment. You can think about this as your chance to kind of begin again. Gently press yourselves up to a seated position at the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. Just take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can bow your forehead to your thumbs. Namaste. Thank you truly for all you guys do. I hope everybody spoils you on Teacher Appreciation Day. And thanks for taking my class. If you want more, you can check me out at yogamusicmama.com and use the code Longfellow at checkout for a free week. I have a website that has 4 live stream classes where I could watch you and a library of 200 recordings just like this one. So code Longfellow for 1 week free. And thanks again. Namaste.